Most life on Earth is sustained by energy from the sun. Many people think that the sun is a giant ball of fire, but it's actually a huge nuclear reaction. Hydrogen atoms on the sun fuse together to form helium atoms in a process called nuclear fusion. This process creates much more energy than what we get through nuclear fission or splitting atoms apart. This tremendous amount of energy radiates into the solar system and arrives here on Earth. Scientists classify this radiation using the electromagnetic spectrum. Different types of radiation have different wavelengths, or the length between crests on different waves. Humans can only see a small portion of wavelengths, and we call this visible light. But we do have tools to help us detect other types of radiation, including infrared, X-ray, and even gamma rays. Today we're going to focus on ultraviolet radiation and ozone, and I'm going to tell you how these two are connected. Ultraviolet radiation, or UV radiation, is a type of radiation that we can't see, but we can see the effects of. Prolonged exposure to UV radiation can cause a myriad of health issues, including skin cancer. That's why it's important to wear sunscreen and sunglasses when you're outside, even on a cloudy day. Lucky for us though, we have the ozone layer in our atmosphere that helps to protect us from this ultraviolet radiation. Our atmosphere is one of the reasons why life as we know it has developed on Earth. It's so unique, we spend our entire life in it, yet we know so little about it. The atmosphere is broken down into 5 layers. The troposphere, or the layer closest to the surface of the Earth, is the one that we live in. Above it is the stratosphere. The ozone layer is located in the stratosphere. Let me tell you more about what ozone is. Ozone forms in the stratosphere when ultraviolet radiation interacts with diatomic oxygen. We breathe diatomic oxygen. It's 2 oxygen atoms bonded together. When it interacts with UV radiation, a 3rd oxygen becomes bonded. So ozone is 3 oxygen atoms bonded together. Decades ago, scientists figured out that there was a growing hole in our ozone layer, meaning that ozone wasn't there to protect us and other species from harmful UV radiation. These scientists, diplomats, and concerned citizens across the globe came together to form the Montreal Protocol. They figured out that different chemicals that we were using in our refrigerators and our air conditioning units were causing this depletion of ozone, and so these things were banned. We see now, years later, that our ozone layer is growing and thriving, helping to protect our world from harmful UV radiation. The Montreal Protocol is an excellent example of how individuals can make a difference and to fix environmental issues. Ozone is a naturally forming molecule in our stratosphere where it's helpful at protecting us against UV radiation. But it can also form here in the troposphere where we live. Tropospheric ozone, or ground level ozone, is actually an air pollutant, and it causes health problems. That's why you can find it on our air quality index. Ground level ozone forms in the presence of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, and nitrous oxides, or NOx. These harmful air pollutants come from our emissions, mostly from our transportation and industry sectors. That's why it's important to reduce these emissions and help to maintain good air quality. Now, I mentioned that we can't see UV radiation, but we have ways that we can detect it. And I want to show you a fun craft to help you detect UV radiation when you're outside. For this craft, you'll need UV detecting beads, scissors, and string. I get these beads from Amazon, but you can find them at most craft stores. To start, get some beads out and cut a piece of string. Make sure the string is long enough. You can always cut it down later. Tie a knot big enough on one end so that the beads don't fall through when you thread them onto your string. Then thread your beads onto your string. You can use as many beads as you have or want to use. The final step is securing your bracelet on your wrist. This may require a little bit of help from someone else. Once you have your bracelet on, head outside. Watch how the beads change colors in the presence of UV radiation. When you see these beads turn these beautiful colors, just keep in mind that the ozone layer is helping to filter out some of this harmful UV radiation. The last step is sharing what you know about ozone and ultraviolet radiation with your friends and family.